Hi, Virgo. Welcome to your birthday season. Here we go. Yeah, solar returns, sun's coming across our ascendants, sun's connecting with our moons, giving us a new moon quality. So, okay. Well, the first card that comes out is the Five of Swords. Interesting. Five of Swords is a little bit challenging, and it's probably the energy that you're coming into your season with. Sometimes we do find ourselves, like with all the work that we do, all the energy clearing and all the emotional work that we do, sometimes we do find ourselves kind of right back where we thought we'd left a long time ago, right? We're like, wow, how did I end up back here again? How did this conversation happen again? How did I end up dating this type of person again, right? And it can be kind of like a shock to realize how powerful your subconscious mind really is and how powerful that need for healing really is, because that's what these kinds of situations are, right? When you're in a relationship with someone who might be a little bit toxic, or you keep having that same argument and you just never win. No one ever wins. It's always kind of like a lose-lose situation. There's no victor. Or you find yourself in the same kind of work environment over and over and over again with like the same types of people. It's like, wow, how am I still like picking those things? How am I still choosing to feel good about something where apparently like somewhere way back there, I know it's bad for me, right? Like, how is this possible? So what's happening is now the Saturn's going to be going direct, right, on September 18th. My birthday. It's going to be a good day. Saturn goes back direct, right? Saturn goes back direct, but it's making its way into that conjunction with Pluto. So we're kind of like getting rid of or clearing out all the last little bits of psychological, emotional, and spiritual healing work that really needs to be done for this new chapter of ours, which we're all looking like face to face, right? We're staring in the eyes of our new chapter. And so all that stuff needs to come up. It needs to surface so that we can kind of get it out of our system for good. So don't be frustrated if you find yourself in that situation. It's actually a good thing because now you're conscious of the things that you are conscious of. Does that make sense? It's not a bad thing. You just got to figure out how to get rid of it. You got to figure out how to find peace with yourself and find forgiveness for another person. So you may be dealing with a fire sign. I don't think this is you. Although it could be. Some of you could be tapping into the King of Wands energy within yourself, right? King of Wands is regal. He's very majestic. He's ready to pounce at a moment's notice. Maybe you actually are dealing with a fire sign. This is specifically the energy of Leo, but it could also be a Sagittarius or an Aries as well. It could be someone who is actually likes the thrill of the Five of Swords, right? They kind of like the chase. They kind of like the danger that the Five of Swords brings to them. But in a way, I feel like it doesn't affect them as much as it probably affects you. You have to take note of how much something affects you. If it has a deeply negative effect on you, then it's not for you. Case in point, it's just simply not for you. But for them, I don't know. I feel like they're like really ready to just jump in there. Look, he's like looking at it, ready to go, ready to get in there, ready to defend himself. And, I just don't know that this is really your scene. And if you're in a relationship or you have a substantial connection with someone, romantic or otherwise, with someone who's all about the Five of Swords energy, it's probably not like the best person to really be around a lot at this point in time, right? To create distance, to create space as much as possible, and to just kind of be like, hey, look, man, like I love you, or I like you, or you're a good person, but I need to do some things for me. And that doesn't necessarily involve that same argument over and over again. It doesn't necessarily involve me feeling like I'm always in a losing position. Okay? I think the Five of Wands is actually the King of Wands is actually pretty aggressive. He's aggressive with his opinions, aggressive with what he wants. And in a way, it doesn't always make sense. It's not always logical. And you need logic, right? You're Mercurial ruled. So you need the logic. You need the systematic patterning. It all needs to like connect somehow. And I don't think this person really needs that. They just kind of can jump on things at any moment. And for the most part, it serves them well. But when it comes to certain interpersonal relationships, and specifically personal relationships with you, it's not so great. Wow, a lot of fire. What's going on, you guys? Definitely dealing with the fire energy. There could be 2 or 3 people involved, where maybe you have 2 people you're interested in romantically. Maybe some of you have, 2 people at work, 1 management, 1 coworker or colleague. I don't know. They all, both of them kind of seem to be really ready to jump. Now, Virgo, the reason why I don't think these are your energies is because I don't think you like this. Like, you don't thrive in awkward situations. You don't thrive in creating awkwardness either. I think both of these kind of like to create this vibe. You don't really handle the in and out kind of nature. Like, no, like if you get into a conflict with a Virgo, we need to deal with it. We need to hash it out. We need to figure it out. You can't just do a hit and run and just like come into my life and then bounce, leaving me with the mess of the 5 of Swords to really clean up. Like, that's not fair, So I don't know. I remember last month's reading was all about the truth bomb. I don't know if all of you officially had that moment yet, but if you haven't, it's likely that something's going to come up during your season that's going to kind of put that on the table. Like, you're going to be able to say what you need to say to get things out of the way, because this is just kind of behavior that I don't think that you have the patience for. You never did, and you absolutely don't now, and you never will, right? So I think you're standing somewhat separated from people in a observing capacity, really observing what they're doing, observing what they're saying, observing how they're interacting with you. And quietly in your own mind, you are ruling people out. You're being like, okay, I'm officially breaking up with you, or I'm officially going to quit, or I'm officially not going to vibe with this, or I'm officially cutting this out. And you're being very sharp, but I also am getting a sense that you're not saying anything right now, right? Or at least coming into your season, you're not really saying anything. You're just sort of letting people do what they feel they need to do, right? You're just letting it happen. And I also suspect, now this isn't going to be true for all Virgos, but I'm getting a feeling that you're not the agitator in this scenario, okay? Again, the observer. You're the observer. People are going to be drawn to you because, let's face it, Sun, Mars, Venus, and Mercury all coming through your sign. So people are going to be very drawn to you. You're kind of like being the highlight right now in a lot of people's lives. People need you. They need your value. They need your knowledge. They need your expertise. And wow, look, okay, now the devil comes out. The devil comes out and he's speaking heavily about this 5 of Swords, right? He's speaking heavily about what is good and what is not so good. I know that you have become exceptionally protective of your energy. You have become exceptionally aware of your energy as well. And the people that make the cut in terms of, yes, I like to surround myself with this energy and I don't like to surround myself with that kind, it's becoming more and more clear. And I suspect this King of Wands, this Knight of Wands, whoever the people it is you're dealing with, all these people with all these demands, right? They demand your attention, they demand your time, and yet you're the one holding all the power. The problem is the tendency for Virgo to just this compelling need to be of service. It's like Virgo Pisces, that's where you meet in the middle, right? You're compelled to give, compelled to help, and that can be your downfall. The inability to say no, the inability to draw the line. Now, Virgo kind of has an ice queen stereotype about it, and it's very true, but it's like you almost have to become the ice queen in order to muster up the power to tell people to go screw themselves, right? Because you can't do it in your natural mode because you just care so much. So you have to almost kind of put on this mask of not caring for the sake of protecting your boundary, because these are not energies of people who are going to protect the boundary. Definitely not. Like, they're just moving straight forward into the Five of Swords. And also, and you'll see when I put the camera down, they're also looking straight at the Devil as well. So these are inextricably linked, right? Then sometimes we do get attached to the kind of argumentative or the cyclical things. Like, yeah, we do get addicted to it. And the problem is that not everything we're aware we have that addiction. So it's not a surprise. It's not a surprise that you just found out that someone was emotionally available. It's not a surprise that this new company you started to go work for is a mess internally. It's not a surprise. So I don't see you being exceptionally overwhelmed. I don't see you being overstressed or overworked. In fact, it's actually kind of going the other way. You're working more efficiently. You're saying things more clearly and effectively so people understand them. And you are being more assertive. Mars in your sign, right? You're being more assertive. Who else is going through a Mars return? I am. I'm going to be going through a Mars return here shortly, and a Mercury return and a solar return. So it's kind of like there's power here in whatever's going on, okay? You are certainly not powerless in this instance. In fact, it's the other people's impulsivity that actually is it's kind of like doing you a lot of favors, because the circumstances are making decisions for you in a way. Does that make sense? The circumstances are just weeding the people out. The circumstances are making it really easy to decide. It's, the Ice Queen part that I was just talking about more has to do with like the protection and the boundaries and protecting what you know to be right. Because the Wands, they're just going to trample you if you let them. And I know you know that. Four of Wands. I feel an essence of safety, right? You're maybe overly concerned about safety. Concerned about your safe space, your security, your circle, the people that you love, the people that you care about the most, right? So dear to your heart. All the people that you would call your family, whether it's biological or not. This is absolutely the people that support you and love you, and they don't want to see you stuck, they definitely don't. They want to see you going out and making money. They want to see you falling in love with like a really good person. They want to see you settling down. They want to see you having those babies. They want to see you doing all those wonderful things. And they're in your corner 100%, because maybe they've been there on that journey. You know what I mean? They've been there. They've seen you. They know what you've got going on. They know how high quality you are. And they just simply don't want to see other people take advantage. You may take solace in the more traditional framework. So the Devil is an interesting energy because, all the cards have so many different layers to them. So while the Devil can represent addiction and hardship and whatever else, right? It can also mean tradition, right? It's associated with the symbol of Saturn and the Capricorn archetype. So yeah, tradition and family and finding solace in that type of structure or in that type of institution. So seek to your family, whether again biological or one that you've created for yourself. Find solace there. And I think you'll find answers to the questions that you have at this time. You will. You'll find the answers. And you'll find joy or bliss. You'll find kind of freedom from whatever it is you're needing freedom from. And Temperance. Now, two cards of Sagittarius coming out right on top of each other. Now, while I don't necessarily feel that Knight of Wands is your energy, I really don't. I think there's a couple of people that you're dealing with in different capacities, but they're both leading to the same thing. But yet at the same time, the mutable aspect of the Knight of Wands connecting with your mutability and then coupled with the Temperance. Okay, let's pull out what Sagittarius really means for a Virgo. Sagittarius is, ruler of your fourth house, right? Yeah, ruler of your fourth house. Hold on, am I doing the calculations right? Yeah, okay, I was like, wait a second, is it the 10th or the 4th? Okay. So there's the safety and there's the peace, right? So that actually goes really well with the number 4 at the top of this card here in the very center of the reading. There's high level intelligence with the Sagittarian archetype, okay? It's high-level philosophy, it's the understanding, it's the guru, okay? I always say that that's like my Dalai Lama archetype, right? The Sagittarius archetype, high consciousness there. But there's also peace with Temperance too. There's peace and alignment and being able to alchemize the negative into the positive or the unproductive into the productive, and being able to take what the world is giving you and make something beautiful out of it. This is the epitome of making lemonade out of lemons, so to speak. So no matter how difficult a situation you're facing, no matter how hard the work is, no matter how hard someone is like pounding you to get it done or to do something for them, it is your internal state that is the most important. And for those of you who aren't used to telling people off, right? It can be really liberating, and some of you may have to tell someone off, right? The Sagittarius energy is no stranger to just saying it, right? And with Mercury in your sign, like just say it. Whatever you need to say. If you haven't had a chance yet, or if it wasn't fully completed during Leo season, chances are, you're gonna have to just do the truth bomb thing yet again, okay? Or to reinforce it or to say it to a different person, right? But this is all about clearing people out. It's about dividing and creating a wedge and creating a path for yourself. And the more and more BS you handle or you take in your life, the more and more peaceful you get. And it's like layer upon layer upon layer of finding that internal bliss point deep within yourself. And no one is responsible for that except for you, which is why I actually like the Five of Swords, because it's right, the reminder that, okay, my subconscious is pretty strong. Maybe I still need healing or whatever, but it's my reaction to this time. That's what really counts. My reaction to it and how I move forward from it. That is going to determine whether or not it comes back into my life or not. So this is the high road, okay? The real high road. Don't be convinced. I think people are going to come and try to promise you peaches and roses. They're going to try to teach you or promise you all sorts of different things. And it's important for you to stay real grounded, okay? It's important for you to stay rooted and firmly planted in the things that you know. It's not a good time to speculate. It's not a good time to jump to conclusions or to assumptions, and to also not necessarily take everybody at face value. Taking people at face value right now is sort of denying your intuitive sense, all right? So the intuition does need to come first. The devil energy can be real sneaky sometimes. It can be really tricky to kind of decipher, okay, well, is this just a fear, or is it a hope, or is it that I truly have faith in something, or is it my intuition telling me no, or is it just fear? So it can get confusing. So if you do in fact feel confused, do the meditations that are needed to really quiet your mind, and not only don't jump to conclusions, but also don't jump to solutions, okay? Because the solution might not necessarily be appropriate based on the conclusions that you're drawing, okay? So let it unfold the way I always say. I feel like that's like a broken record thing that I say now, but let it unfold organically. Six of Cups. Sorry, I haven't really gotten to this card yet, but there could be someone coming back, that you've had a long-standing situation with. This is directly underneath the Devil card. So I feel like there's a sweet spot, right? Someone has a sweet spot in the Virgo heart, and Virgo is holding a space for this individual. And for whatever reason, it's so easy for this person to really just come in and likely take advantage. Take advantage of the kindness, take advantage of the love, and take advantage of that desire to really be of help. So when you feel, Virgo, like that person is creeping in and they're making it all like sound so good, and maybe they're making you some promises or whatever, I would be reticent to tell you to jump on that. There's a fantasy quality always with this too. I suspect there are karmic ties with someone, likely the King of Wands. Whereas the Knight of Wands kind of punctuates things, right? It just kind of like comes in and out and and it kind of like highlights certain things. But the King of Wands is more of a constant stream of karma, just like, unfolding. And it's like, can I not get rid of this, please? Right? Capricorn, right? Or the Saturnian nature. It takes a long time. So there might be a past life connection. There might be karmic ties. There might be an unfinished story out there somewhere that needs to get concluded. But ultimately, like I said before, it is your reaction to the things that determines whether or not that karma will continue or not. So the more emotionally stable you can be, the less likely it is to happen again. Okay. Pay very close attention to your emotions. Very, very close. Emotions usually are the things that, that's not necessarily true, I guess, for a Mercury ruled sign. It can often be very mental as well, where the thoughts are like buzzing, going. But if you're feeling the emotional component also, like a lot of that stress and everything, do whatever you need to do to put all of those things at ease, whether it's aromatherapy, or yes, meditation always, or like a Reiki session, or just going out for a hike and being alone in nature for a little while, just reconnecting with like your place in nature. It's going to be beneficial for you. So look, I don't know, you're so well grounded, like 2 4s here, 2 number 4s. You're so well grounded. You're so established somehow. Like you're good. Like you have all the things that you need, which kind of like, that's why this is so annoying. Like, sure, yes, it's super annoying, but you have all the ingredients to bake a really great cake from it. Okay. Remember the alchemical nature of the Temperance card. It is the alchemist, right? That's what he's doing, right? Pouring from one cup into the other. You're working magic here. So it might as well have been the Magician card, right? Either way, I would have taken both. You do have to probably protect your boundaries somehow. Somewhere along the line this month, you're gonna have to set that line. And if you have to do the whole Ice Queen thing or the Ice King thing, like, okay, just do it. Like, it sucks and it pisses people off, but if it's what you need to do, like, it's not your job to make everybody feel good. It's not your job to make everybody happy. So if you need to be an Ice Queen for a minute in order to like get the right result, then by all means do it, because I do suspect you have something to protect, and it is worth protecting. Okay, it's worth hanging on to. It's worth any loss, right? Because it's far more valuable. I see a story here of someone who's not afraid of losing anything or anyone. Even this King of Wands, who, like I said, is probably a pretty stable presence in your life, but you're not afraid to lose. You're not afraid to let this person walk away, because in a way, they're walking away themselves. Like, they're kind of putting themselves in that position of like, this isn't going to work out anyway. Because they're what was the order here? Sorry. I'm trying to put them in the same position that they are laying out. Like, they're the ones who are kind of antagonistic, and they're the ones who are pushing you into that 5 of Swords space. Like, I don't necessarily see you as the perpetrator of that. Okay. One more, and then we'll put the camera down. I did get a new deck. You'll notice the colors are a little bit more dull. But I like the borderless aspect of this Smith-Waite deck here. So we went with the more dull colors for the borderless. Ooh, and the sun, which we know is the ultimate in joy and the ultimate in outcome. It's because you take that care in protecting yourself. You take that care in protecting your energy and your safe space and the safe people, right? Four of Wands, that you find that light exuding from within. This is the light that we always like, love and light. Like, yeah, here's the light. You know, here's the light that we know we all have the option to emit if we so choose. To have the sun come out with the devil tells me that the devil is what gets you to the light. So, you know, it's not for nothing. You know, it's always purposeful in our journey. So there's no need to be sad or upset or frustrated or anything by this Five of Swords thing with the wand people. Let's call them the wand people, the fire people, whoever they are. You know, it doesn't matter, because you're doing what you know you have to do, and you will have a successful outcome here. So this will be an interesting story, actually, as we pull the clarifiers for the comprehensive reading. But for now, let's go ahead and put the camera down. We'll finish pulling out all the cards, and thank you guys so much. Thanks. Okay, Virgo, so here you have the cards. So you can see how the fire energies are just kind of like definitely looking into the Five of Swords, definitely looking into the devil energy. You can see how this Six of Cups kind of aligns with everything here as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at a different tarot deck and see what cards come through there for you. You didn't get any reversals. We get Two of Swords. Okay. And we get the Tower. Okay, so to get the Tower with the devil is actually a really exciting thing to get. Let's actually start with that. Because the Tower being number 16, with the devil being number 15, it is the exact structures. Oh my God, you guys, can we just like stop for 1 second and just like how perfect tarot can be sometimes, where Saturn and Pluto come out to play, right? This is a Scorpio energy. Here are Saturn and Pluto coming out to play. So this conjunction is like really starting for you guys now, because from this Earth season, it's a straight shot into the next Earth season, which is Capricorn, right? So the structures and the things and the patterns that have been so predictable and so commonplace in your life, it's like Saturn goes direct, you're not going to have an option to keep it going. You're just simply not, which is why I think your reaction to everything is very just kind of like, okay, whatever, you know, like I'll say the harsh things, I'll do the harsh things, and I'll tell people to go screw off. Like, okay, that's fine, because I really, really, really do want to be free from this, right? I think the desire for freedom and happiness is so much stronger than anything that these people are promising, which is why this Six of Cups is like, it's not gonna sway you, like it's not gonna trick you, you know, it's really, really not. And for those of you who feel like, oh my God, I don't know what to do, right? Two of Swords can often make us feel like we are at a crossroads, but in actuality, that couldn't be further from the truth. We are not at a crossroads. We are not at a period of indecision. If you're feeling indecisive, it means you're too much in your head, right? Like, that's why the meditations have to happen. That's why the walks in nature have to happen. The aromatherapy, the massages, the Reiki sessions, like those things have to happen so that you don't spin out of control when the Tower comes to fruition, right? The Tower is a very, very exciting thing. You know, it's meant to be embraced because it's like, oh, thank God, a blank slate. Like we talk about blank slates all the time, but the hugeness of this astrological environment that hasn't happened in like 500 years, right? Like it's a big deal, you know? So for us as individuals, for us in terms of our lineage and our ancestors and our DNA activation and all those stuff that the spiritual community talks about, like now's the time for all of that to come out to play. So you become superheroes, you become supernatural in your own world by embracing these changes and by finding the empowered nature of release. right? Of like truly letting go. So yeah, like let's go ahead and take a couple oracle cards here. This is from my ritual deck. Last month, or I think it was Gemini season actually, I bought like a whole bunch of new decks. So I'm still just kind of like playing with them and introducing you guys to them. Hopefully you guys enjoy them as much as I do. Oh, a dark moon, right? Rest, stillness, and observation. Oh my God, what did I just talk about, right? When I was talking, this is even an earth energy too. What was I talking about when I said you seem to be the observer of this? Like these two people, or if it's the same person, it could be, but whoever these energies are, they're just kind of creating it themselves. And when Virgo becomes non-participatory, it's very disorienting for people, and they're like, wait a second, Virgo's not participating, Virgo's ignoring me, Virgo's not going to give me what I'm asking for. I don't know how to really handle this. That's why I'm saying the energy, they just come and go, and the circumstances are simply going to take care of the situation itself, right? Like I don't necessarily know that you need to be making any decisions about anything. It's the dark moon energy, the rest, the stillness, and the observation. For some reason, I think that's the most important message there, is the word observation. This is connected with both your third eye and your crown chakras. So this is extraordinarily high levels of consciousness here. So don't get drowned in the pettiness of the Five of Swords, because that's exactly what it is. It's petty. It's not worth your time. It's certainly not worth your energy, especially because we know you have so many other amazing things going on in your life, right? Like I know that Virgo has a lot of good stuff going for them, right? All the Virgo people in my life, especially the Virgo moons, they seem to have like this, it's like they open the floodgates and there's all this creativity, and like they don't want to slow down, you know? So yeah, so focus on that good stuff. That's where it's really at anyway. All right, from the Psychic Tarot, here we go. Let's see what else comes out for Virgo. Ooh, awareness. Okay, number one. So yeah, exactly. The card of Temperance. And that's why I was talking about the Sagittarian, you know, Buddha, high level guru type of stuff, because that's exactly the energy you're going to have to take on to operate in awareness. And the thing that I love about this for you is that this might really be one of the first times that you are aware of your awareness here. Like something goes wrong, something gets hard, and when you're aware of your awareness, it's like, okay, and which is setting a tone for how you respond to things in the future. It's setting a tone for your maturity. People who are not dealing with a mature Virgo, probably the Virgo is tapping into this energy here. They are the ones like, oh my God, let's do the Five of Swords. Yes, let's get to the devil. Let's get to what's comfortable. Because weirdly, these energies often become comfortable. And that's a scary thing, right? When we become comfortable in our own festering and in our own like toxic patterns, that's troublesome. Okay, so let's go ahead and start pulling clarifiers for the comprehensive. Link will be down below. We'll talk for another 20 to 25 minutes about the cards I pulled out right now. But to kind of introduce you guys to what's going to come out, I do it on camera here. So let's see what comes out for the Five of Swords. Ah, karma. What did I say, right? The chickens come home. What is it? The chickens come home to roost, or the hens come home to roost. Ooh. Oh, these fire signs, man. Let's pull one more. Okay. Yeah, I sensed a trickster vibe with the devil, which I don't normally get. So now we have the Fool energy, and I feel that that's, you know, even more so. Okay, so there could be a third party thing going on for some of you. Most certainly, this King of Wands is kind of wrapped up in some kind of scenario, okay? Okay, so the King of Wands is the major player, which I suspected from the beginning, right, when this card came out. They seem to be the constant. Whereas the Knight of Wands, let's take a look at him. Okay, you don't know what the heck they're doing. How could you possibly know? Problem with the Knight of Wands is they try to siphon off your goodness. And it's possible that they project some guilt. Oh. Four of Coins reversed coming out for the Devil. And they're certainly projecting their own unexpressed potential onto you as well, holding you high up to exceptionally high standards, but at the same rate, not living up to those same standards themselves. So, you know, you have two problematic people, or if it is in fact one person, you know, it'll combine. Okay, that's, oh my gosh, so many of these things coming through. Oh, and the Magician. Okay, hold on. These ones didn't turn over upright, so I don't know what they are. So let's go ahead and keep shuffling. But those all came out for the Devil. So big story there. So let's look at the Four of Wands. Okay, that's enough. I'm not going to pull more for that. Temperance. The Moon and the Moon. And also another Moon card. And actually this chakra here is also often connected with the moon energy as well. So there's a lot of inner processes happening. There's a lot of awareness of how emotions are creating energy and how those emotions are moving through the chakra system, how they're affecting your health, how they're affecting your sleep patterns. You know, there's just simply a lot of information that is being derived from these particular circumstances. You guys, Two of Five of Swords, I just have to point out, one thing that always really bugs me about this card and this card are actually the clouds, right? I'm a big cloud person. I don't know if you guys know that about me or not, but I am. Like, I want to live somewhere where there are big, gigantic, fluffy clouds and it rains all the time and they're always moving and all this, right? So these clouds always really stand out to me. Like I said in the beginning, it's very jagged. It's very uncomfortable and it's very like ominous. Okay, so I'm getting a real ominous vibe from the whole thing, and I don't see you leaning toward pessimism or optimism. Okay, I see you leaning toward neutrality. And yeah, I don't know, maybe someone really did screw you over, right? Maybe someone really did lie to you. Maybe someone really did hurt you a lot. And it's like enough. Like, when does Virgo say enough is enough? Did I talk to you about that last month too for the Leo energy? I may have talked to you about that. When is enough enough for Virgo? At what point do you truly draw that line? Okay, you have to be careful of those karmic ties. Not to say that they're bad, but you know, you don't have to go through another cycle of it. Unfortunately, sometimes we get so wrapped up that it's like, oh, it's karma, we have past lives, we have this, we have that. It doesn't mean you have to be together. And if you truly believe in that kind of stuff, right, believe in another lifetime or another timeline or whatever, then letting someone go shouldn't be that hard, because there's that faith. And this might be a test of your faith. Like, how much do I really believe in a life after this life? Because if you really believe in a life after this life, then you don't have to get what you want from anybody, right? There's no pressure to get anything. So don't play that with yourself. Don't play yourself, rather. Okay, ooh, a couple of 2 cards coming through. Let's pull one more for that. Yeah, you have all the answers that you need already. Ooh, see, what did I say? The Tower card is like one of the best cards to get. Kings being connected here. What's interesting is that I don't feel your energy, okay, well, with the exception, I was going to say with the exception of the Queen of Coins, and here's the Queen of Wands too, and then we get the Three of Swords on the bottom of the deck. So this is where we're going to pick up, okay? I'm not going to clarify these because I don't think they really need it, but this is where we're going to pick up for the comprehensive. All right, you guys, thank you so much for everything. I wish you an excellent and super happy birthday. Take care, and I'll see you next month. Bye-bye.